Okay, this question is going to be looking at, or this video is going to be looking at question 4, part 1, part B, 4.1 part B, yeah, whatever, of the June 2014 Edexcel FP1 paper. Okay, now if you remember, in part A, we calculated AB. Okay, so we did the matrix multiplication, and that bit was worth 3 marks. There's 4 marks for the whole of part 1. Okay, part B is where you get your extra 1 mark, which adds up to 4. And it's basically explaining why AB, the matrix we just calculated, is not the same as doing BA. Okay, so in other words, why isn't matrix multiplication commutative? In other words, it doesn't matter which order you multiply elements by, because it is everywhere else in maths pretty much, or at least the maths which you've come across so far. But why isn't, if we just swap these matrices around and multiply them, why isn't that the same? Okay. The reason comes because obviously, well, you can visualise it. You can literally do it, okay? So you can compute at BA. And that is one way to answer the question, by the way. You can compute BA, and you can show, well, it's not the same as the matrix I got in AB, in part A for AB. So, therefore, they're not the same. So you can physically show it's not the same. But remember, this is only worth 1 mark. And they've just given you 3 marks for matrix multiplication. So surely if they wanted to do matrix multiplication again, they would offer you 3 marks for doing that. But there's a slightly quicker way of doing it. And the way to do it is by looking at the size of these matrices, or the dimensions of these matrices. So A is a 3 by 2 matrix. What do I mean by that? Remember, it's all the time with matrices. It's rows first, columns second. So looking at dimensions of this matrix, how many rows are there? There's 3. How many columns are there? There's 2. Okay, let's do the same for B. There is, how many rows are there? There's 1, there's 2. How many columns are there? 1, 2, 3. There's 3. So A is a 3 by 2 matrix. B is a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay. Now, when you were doing AB, you were doing a 3 by 2 matrix, this thing, multiplied by a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay. Now, remember, when we do matrix multiplication, in order to do the multiplication in the first place, these inner 2 numbers here have to match up. Okay. And in this case, they do. Okay. So therefore, you can do the matrix multiplication. And the outer 2 numbers will give you the dimension. Okay, so there's the dimension there. Okay, and if you remember, we computed AB and we did get a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, so yeah, these outer 2 numbers do correspond to dimension. But let's look at doing BA. Okay, well, B is a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, but A is a 3 by 2 matrix. Okay, so the inner 2 numbers match up, so it's good. We can do the matrix multiplication. Okay, these inner 2 numbers match. But these outer 2 numbers, remember, which correspond to dimension, tell us that BA should result in a 2 by 2 matrix. Well, AB results in a 3 by 3 matrix, BA results in a 2 by 2 matrix. The 2 dimensions are not the same, so therefore they physically cannot be the same matrix. Okay, so that's the idea. Now it's just a case of putting it down in words. Okay, so AB results in a 3 by 3 matrix. BA results in a 2 by 2 matrix. Since these 2 matrices are of different dimensions, then AB cannot be the same as BA. There we are, 1 mark. Okay, just putting down matrix multiplication is not commutative. It is not good enough, okay, because anybody can just remember matrix multiplication is not commutative. 5 words, okay, and put that down without having a clue what it means. So it doesn't really give you the mark, okay. It has to show that you actually understand a little bit more about what's going on. Okay, but, you know, nice, easy 1 mark.